The doctor in front of your name.
And so when we think about like those unique experiences that we have had as Black people, while also keeping in mind that a lot of the studies that we learn in the behavioral health community was normalized on non-Black people, I wonder like if you noticed a discrepancy when trying to apply those same theories to this pop. You had okay, explain that.
Absolutely. So when I first started working in this field, I worked with children, and I was a school social worker. And a lot of the things that children experience that might be a trauma response, if they're a Black or brown child, is looked at as explosive, is looked at as oppositional, is looked at as something to be criminalized. When in reality, this is someone that is in an environment that's responding to that environment. If you're in a home or in a neighborhood where you're not regulated, you're not gonna come to school and be regulated. And those children aren't looked at closely, they're just criminalized.
Wow, the criminalization of Black and brown kids. Wow. Okay, so what do we do about that? Like when we start seeing that they are being criminalized by teachers, admin, or what have you, like how do we kind of navigate that space?
It's education, but it absolutely has to be education on a larger scale, because people have to actually buy into this information that you're trying to share. You know, when I was a school social worker, one of the things that I did to kind of talk about trauma and like the experience of trauma on learning is I gave all of the teachers the ACEs to complete, to look at all of their adverse experiences, all of their trauma, and they recognize like if you've experienced these things and they've changed you, why this little Black boy who his dad has been in jail his whole life, his mom is getting beat on, his neighbor is a crackhead, like why doesn't he deserve the same empathy and understanding and patience?
So Tiera, it sounds like you're doing the work of like normalizing this. Like this isn't just like a Black kid thing. Like if the admin experienced traumas and things that they experience and it changed them, then yeah, it's probably going to change the students that you're working with as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So like in the school setting specifically, and then I'm going to go back to Hood PTSD, how can parents and caregivers, how can they be advocates to their children when they are being criminalized in these systems?
I think that kind of goes to, and nothing I say applies to everybody, but a lot of times when we have experience in generational trauma, the response to authority is typically to comply. Or if we have this hierarchy when it comes to our children, it's been to listen to adults. But my suggestion is to listen to your kids. Listen to your kids and be their advocate. Don't assume that the adult is right when this adult has no idea how this person experiences life.
That's so good, because I don't think people realize like how dangerous it is to just simply comply, to not ask any questions, and to just like accept the diagnoses or whatever it is that's being applied to us. Like we have the right to ask questions. Yeah. I love the fact that you brought that out to our listeners. Okay, so going back to Hood PTSD, I'm wondering in your work with Hood PTSD, like how do you kind of help the people that you're working with? Like how do you help them to recognize that what we're doing is not like maladaptive is what we call it, or basically like this is not healthy?
Yeah, starting with, how did you learn to navigate your feelings, your emotions, your behavior? Because there's something that happened or something that that's something that was pushed on you that changed that. Kind of being able to identify first, what are the things that you adapted to? What are the things that feel genuine to you, and what are the things that feel forced? So when I think about, Hood PTSD, and I think about a lot of people who have turned to crime for a livelihood, the reality is in the hood, there aren't a lot of resources and there isn't a lot of support. So when people turn to crime, it's not because, oh, you know what, I want to be a scammer. No, if I want to be the whatever man. No, these are the options that are available to me. A lot of people aren't looking at like the fact that people aren't inherently aggressive, dangerous. They're not inherently unalive people when they go into certain industries, but they've chosen that out of survival. And sometimes people need to understand that this is not who you are. This is who you had to be, or this is who you thought you had to be.
The doctor in front of your name.